What's going on, guys? Sam here, and I want to be covering my Synchro deck for the June 2020 format. I feel like Synchros are just still great. As you've seen before, I've uploaded a video last month covering this deck in a little bit of a different kind of avenue, with more of a focus on the junk doppel and synchro climbing. This kind of takes a little bit of a different approach to it, taking advantage of Halki Fibrax now, and Link Cross and whatnot. In general, I just feel that this deck is really fun. I really want to kind of focus in on this deck for this coming format because I think that, again, it's fun, it's affordable, and it can really kind of go over, do a lot of things that a lot of other decks cannot do. With being able to extend the board for free, you know, I'll go multiple turns or multiple plays without using my normal summon. We'll just keep extending and extending plays where your normal summon is just an additional extender. And these searching options are just great. Also, with the way I built this deck, we're allowed to play a lot more interruptions than we normally would be able to kind of fight back against Eldritch and Adamantipator. So yeah, let's get into the deck. So to start off with the monsters, we're playing 3 Quickdraw Synchro. This is just a free extender. I'm not gonna lie, I'm also preparing for Jet Synchron to be either banned or limited, most likely banned. So this will be one of our other ways to get into Halki Fibrax quickly and without using our normal summon. This card is just really great being able to go into Halki Fibrax. We do play at least one target in our extra deck for synchroing with him, but the main thing is using him to make some link plays. Next, we're playing the 3 Junk. This is our normal summon in the deck, similar to the last list I played. It's just the best normal summon. It allows you to go into Halki Fibrax really easily if you just want to use your normal summon and another, discard outlet to kind of get into this. We are playing the Junk Connector, which is a way to kind of abuse this. And it's just kind of, again, the best normal summon that we have for this list, maybe besides Armageddon Knight, but we are opting not to play that in this list. And we're also playing the 3 Jet. Jet's insane. He's not banned yet, but I'm keeping an eye out. I'm going to get this deck uploaded before we have the ban list drop. That way, if he does get hit, I'm not going to get any criticism. I won't have to record this or re-record this. But yeah, these are the 2 guys that we're kind of working with right now. Next, for the 1-of Synchrons, we're playing 1 Unknown, 1 Fleur, 1 Satellite, and 1 Road. Unknown is a free summon if we're going second. It's really great. It's another level 1 if we need it to be a target for Junk Speeder, which is why we're playing all of these. They're just more names for Junk Speeder. Fleur allows you to get another card out of your hand if we need to. So it's an alright thing to bring back with your Junk Warrior or Junk Synchron. Satellite is a free summon if we bring something back from the grave, which we can do relatively easily. And then Road counts as a level 2 if it's not used for Road Warrior, which we're not playing Road Warrior, so this allows us to synchro climb with our small synchro climbing engine that we have in this list. Next, for our non-synchron monsters, we're playing 3 Junk Converter and 3 Doppel Warrior. So Junk Converter is our tuning number 2. It also facilitates a lot of our Junk Synchron plays. Junk Converter being able to search out any of our Synchron monsters, it's just insane already. Being able to put something in the graveyard, which will allow us to recur that monster, typically with a lot of the stuff that we have, to abuse cards like Doppel Warrior, to get some free summons and some extra extension to our plays. So yeah, these 2 cards have been really great. The other thing that's great about Junk Converter is that we do play hand traps in this list. So typically our hand traps are tuners, so we are able to kind of abuse the fact that those are tuners to use Junk Converter for some free fodder if we don't need those monsters. Next, for our 1-ofs, we're playing 1 Quillbolt, 1 Deskbot 001, and 1 O-Line. You guys are probably tired of seeing at least these 2. These 2 guys we're playing the Halki Fibrax combo, so Halki Fibrax can bring out this, and we can kind of extend our plays. Mecha Phantom Beast Auroradon brings out this. We can make Borderload Savage and Herald of Arclight relatively easily. That's our going first play almost every time. Usually we can extend that a little bit more into either a Crystal Wing or maybe a Trish to get something out of their hand or whatnot, but these 2 guys are really important for that. And then Quillbolt is one of the best discard fodders that we have for quick draw, hitting off tuning. Heck, it's even a great normal summon. It's just all around one of those cards that I really do enjoy. This is the 41st card, so feel free to cut it if you don't feel like you need it, but we also do play such a heavy Synchron or tuner lineup that having an extra extension or extendable monster that is not a tuner is pretty great because it can help facilitate more plays. But yeah, that's really all I got to say about these guys. He's also a machine, which is good for Auroradon if we do need to make that. For our last 6 monsters, we're playing 3 Ash, 3 Valor. You can run pretty much whatever you want for your hand traps, but in my experience, these cards right here are the best ones for what we have going on. The Ashes are just all around great against almost every deck. You know, almost all the decks are playing 3 Ash, it's just kind of how it is. And Valor being not once per turn is insane, being a level 1 for 1-for-1 plays, which does come up. And it is a, these are both tuners, so they can be discarded to Junk Converter. So that's it for the monsters. For the spells, we're playing 3 tuning. It searches out Synchron monsters, then flips a card to the grave. I recommend 3 of these in all of our Synchron decks. This card is one of those cards I could see being even limited on the ban list, which would be, which would suck, not to say the least. But it's really a great facilitator for this deck, and I really hope it does not get touched because it is one of the best enablers that we have left for this deck. For our one-of-kind-of power spells, we're playing 1-for-1, 1 Monster Reborn, 1 Reinforcement of the Army, and 1 Foolish. Extenders, I really don't need to talk too much about these, but I will for the sake of the video. 1-for-1 gets Jet Synchron, or Despot, or the, you can even bring out Valor with this. Monster Reborn, just a free extender. We put a lot of cards in the graveyard in Synchro Climb and Link Climb, so being able to bring those back is pretty great. Rhoda, it searches out Junk Warrior, and Foolish, it pitches Jet Synchron, which is pretty much the main reason that we run it. And for the last 6 cards we're playing in the main deck, we're playing 3 Dark Ruler No More, and 3 Called by the Grave. We can break boards with this deck, going second. So just kind of running Dark Ruler, outing everything that they got, and kind of extending our plays and setting up our stuff for the next turn is pretty great. Getting some negates on board and whatnot. And we do a lot of searching, and getting hand trap sucks. So we're playing Called by the Grave. So for extra deck, we're running the Halki Fibrax lineup here. You know what these guys do. This goes into this. You can use the Link Cross to get some extra tokens here for the Herald of Arclight and whatnot. But yeah, you've seen these guys all around. This card is, really great. I'm hoping it doesn't get banned. Most likely, since it was just printed, it won't get banned. I'd actually rather lose this over Jet Synchron, but you'll take whatever Konami wants to give us. So this is kind of what we got to work with for now. I'm also hoping to get this deck list up before the ban list drops, just in case something gets hit in this list. Most likely something will, so be prepared for that. So let's go on to our extra deck. We're playing Halki Fibrax. You know what this guy does. It searches out the Despot, which allows us to kind of go into our Link Cross and our Auroradon plays. This card can be played just like a normal Synchro deck where we just play this, we leave it in play, and we pop off into our Formula Synchron, but on our opponent's turn. But the best turn 1 board we can make typically involves Auroradon, and then making our level 8 Borreload Savage along with our Herald of Arclight. So yeah, you know what these guys do. This guy can also facilitate a lot of our synchro plays if we wanted to go into some kind of different options if we wanted to with the tokens. But in general, you've seen these quite a bit. I'll try to do a combo tutorial later on this week or in the coming weeks here to kind of show you exactly the plays that we'd be making with this list. And then for the Synchro monsters that are kind of the meat of the extra deck here, we're playing the 1 formula. This allows us to go +1 with our, or +2 with our TG Hyper Librarian, along with being able to summon this out with our Halki Fibrax on our opponent's turn. This card is really great. It could be a Celestial Double Star Shaman, but I like the plussing off of this to allow us to rebuild our hand if our board is ever broken. Also drawing into hopefully more hand traps and more disruptions if we need to with this card and TG Hyper Librarian. Metal Marcher, this guy brings back Synchron monsters or tuner monsters. This is part of the Halki Fibrax combo. Also, it could just be used as a normal level 3 Synchro monster for Link climbing or Synchro climbing plays. Herald of Arclight is our best level 4, again part of the Halki Fibrax combo, but also it is just generally one of the better level 4 Synchro monsters that we have access to. Excel Synchron, this just facilitates almost all of our plays. We can use this to go into any variety of other synchro monsters that we need. It's a Synchron, which is, also pretty good for this list. Being able to pitch something to the grave is, great. Being able to send Jet if we haven't already used Jet in that turn. It's really can set up almost anything we need it to. Librarian, don't really need to explain it. It just kind of gives us pluses. Junk Speeder, which is why we're playing all the other Synchron monsters. This guy can make huge boards by himself and allow us to Synchro Climb alone here. If it wasn't once per turn, and if it didn't have the Synchro clause where you can only Synchro after you summon him, this card would be banned in a heartbeat. Charge Warrior, we're playing this for the same reason we were on Formula. It draws a card. It's level 6, which we do need because we do have access to that quite a bit. There are some other options like the Stardust Assault Warrior that can bring back a junk monster, but I have felt that the +1 from the card draw here and in conjunction with the Librarian to refill our hand has been a little bit better. Nitro Warrior, this is our one quick draw target. This card is really great because basically what it does, if you don't know, it gains 1,000 attack if you activate a spell card after this guy's out there, which brings him up to 3,800 attack, which is huge. It beats over Eldritch, it beats over, it beats over everything. Ultimate Conductor Tyrana, it's a little bit bigger than him. Granted, if they have Lost World, it's a little bit less, but still. And then his ability to attack a second time, it's just really great for OTKs if we need to go that route. The only time we really go into a 7 is with Quick Draw and a Double Warrior or Junk Converter, which is the reason that we're only running this as our level 7. For our 8s, we're playing Crystal Wing Synchro. This card is one of our end board cards. It's really great going first, going second. It can do almost anything. This card's insane. It's been one of the hallmarks of the Synchro decks for a while now, being able to negate monster effects and get pretty large here too, which is hard to out. And it's pretty accessible for this list. And then the Borreload Savage, because we're playing the Halki Fibrax combo, we're playing the Savage. Omni Negate, it gets huge when clipping the Auroradon, 4,050 attack. This guy's great. And for our last two, we're playing the Trish. It outs cards that we normally wouldn't be able to out, and rip a card out of our opponent's hand. That's pretty much it. It's just a good level 9 monster. There are some other ones that we could be running. I was thinking about running the Vermilion Dragon Tech or whatever it is that we can use to make BFD, but that play is a little bit more high risk. It's less set in stone, especially with you kind of got to get lucky with it. It gets foiled by almost any disruption, which is not a good feeling. So I decided to opt back to Trish and just sticking with the one level 9 here. Also, extra deck space is pretty tight in this list. And for the last card, one of the best cards we've gotten in recent history, Satellite Warrior. This allows us to not play the Quasar or Blazar builds. This card's easily accessible. It allows us to break boards really easily. And he facilitates an OTK by himself where we can Synchro Climb, get him huge. He gains 1,000 attack for each Synchro monster in your graveyard, and pops cards equal to that number as well. And yeah, he just definitely makes life a lot easier, being a generic monster too that's easy to summon. I wish that he actually had Satellite Synchron as a requirement, because then we could use Quick Draw to make him much easier, at least in this list. That would be much worse for every other iteration of this, but in this list it would be pretty great to be able to use Quick Draw to make him. But yeah, this card has handled a lot of the other issues that we've dealt with involving this deck in the past. But yeah, that's the 15 card extra deck. I really am not running anything too off the wall here. Maybe, the formula should be the double star shaman. But outside of that, I think that everything here is pretty standard. You can definitely mess with certain numbers here. Some people do like Omega as their level 8 instead of Crystal Wing or whatnot, but I do feel that this is a great list for what we have kind of going on in the metagame. Now for the side deck. I'm playing 3 Nibiru. I actually just traded this to one of my friends here, but I have a new one coming in the mail. It was supposed to be here today, but I'm trying to get a hold of the seller because it looks like it hasn't been shipped out yet. But 3 Nibiru, going second, it can out some of the other combo decks. It's just really great for that reason. We can definitely kind of use our disruption toolbox and kind of adjust numbers here and there. So got the foily token to go with that. Then we're playing 2 Cosmic Cyclone. It's great against Striker, it's great against Adamantipator, Eldritch. It's great against just back row decks in general. 3 Imperm. If I'm going second, sometimes I can bring these in. It's just, just more negates. If, for Adamantipator, sometimes we have to make a concession to our deck where we're going to make the Savage board, or we're going to make 1 Satellite Warrior and hope to ride that to victory. And sometimes we just got to fight back with an overwhelming amount of disruption. And playing 2 Twin Twister. This is also for back row decks. I kind of, go back and forth between whether I want 2 Twin Twisters or I want the 3 Cyclones and then 1 of something else. But right now the 2 and 2 has been great. This has been good for Strikers, sort of. And just general other back row decks that I've been running into. And we're playing the 2 Lancia. This is good against Dino. It's good against just kind of random decks that we haven't been, prepared for. This is one of the things that also might be swapped out here in the future, but as of right now, I've really liked it, being able to stop banishing effects. And lastly, we're playing 3 DD Crow. Good against Eldritch, good against Adamantipator, good against everything really in the format. There's, an argument to have these in the main deck, but having Effect Veiler and Ash Blossom be tuners, what that works in conjunction with the Junk Converter is kind of the concession I've made for those hand traps versus this one here. But yeah, that is it for the side deck. So tell me what you think about this list here. I am going to be kind of doing more updates again monthly for the Synchron list, because similar to Abyssshire and 037 Wolf, I really kind of like this deck. I want to focus on a certain archetype. This deck and then Sky Strikers are something I've been really kind of making an audible to in the format for decks that I'm just very, very passionate about. There will be other decks kind of coming up in the future where with just kind of different stun variants, but mainly these 2 decks are going to be the biggest thing that I'm going to be focusing on for my channel here. I do have 2 boxes of Toon Chaos on the way, so stay tuned for that box opening. And then I do have my friends coming in to do hopefully some deck profiles here soon with Dinos, Gren Maju, and Fluffle, but Fluffle might wait for Rise of the Duelist because we can get the whale here. We can kind of go over his list then. But yeah, tell me what you think about the list here. Tell me if you want a actual more of a up here quick draw deck, where I actually focus on the rest of the warrior monsters, such as the Drill Warrior or whatever. Just because I do have these guys here. That deck will be more fun oriented, but I definitely would be happy to do that list because I do miss the good old quick draw dandy time periods back in 2011, 2010 formats. So yeah, that's it for the deck profile. Remember to leave a like, subscribe, and check out my Patreon and Instagram links down below, and I will see you guys next time.